my friend. You frightened me. Please, come in, come in. I didn't realize that you were arriving so early. Or perhaps I've lost track of time once again. Please, how foolish of me. Come, take a seat. Would you care for a drink? As you can see, I'm taking part tonight. I always say that after a long day's work, there's no problem with that. Oh, I see there are some people here I don't recognize. Hello. Is that Mr. Lind? It's good to see you, Mr. Lind. I haven't seen you in some time. Would you care for a drink? What about the rest of you there? You feel like an NPC. I'm afraid I don't understand this abbreviation there. Afraid we don't have that on the farm. Here, would you care for a drink? Excellent. Cheers, my friend. Now, how is everyone doing today? Ça va? Are you doing well? But it's prohibition, you say. No, my friend, you are mistaken. No. It is true that some places in the nation right now cannot enjoy the finer things in life, but we here in Quebec absolutely can. So please, join me. But how is the day, my friend? You're doing well? Excellent. Excellent. I'm very glad to hear. I am very sorry for keeping you waiting tonight. Now, I know what you'll say. Arthur, you better not have been working on that invention of yours anymore. My friend, I'll let you in on a little secret. I'm always working on that new invention of mine. Do you mind if I smoke at all? Oh, yes, of course. Joshua, I forgot that you don't approve of my smoking. We will put this aside for now. Perhaps some other time. But tell me, my friend, have you been around town lately? Have you seen or heard anything interesting? You know, it feels like not too long ago that I was with some of you at the game. Surely you remember the game, don't you? It was a cold day, Joshua, it most certainly was. There was snow yesterday. Today it was all about the wind, but what can you do? What did you say? Oh, Mr. Lind, I'm glad you're doing quite well. That is very good to hear. It's nice to have you here with us, Mr. Lind. To tell you the truth, I feel like the last time I actually got away from working was when I went to the new arena that just opened up this year. You know about the new arena, don't you? Well, of course, in Montreal we have our Canadians that we are very, very fond of. But just this past year, they've created a new team. The Montreal Maroons. Maroons. It's interesting, isn't it? But you know, I know some of you don't follow hockey as well as you should. I've been partaking as often as I can, and it's been a disappointing season though, hasn't it? Do you remember what happened this past season? I can tell you, it still drives me crazy to this day. Think about how our professional athletes lost to those people. It's upsetting. Do you know who they lost to? Do you remember how upset we were? Sports? You seem surprised. Go Maroons. Yes, we're all in favor of the new Maroon team, but the Montreal Canadiens, that is who we should all be rooting for, but this past season they didn't do as well. Vancouver, you say? Vancouver won, it most certainly did. Well, I have to correct you there, sir. Vancouver and Victoria, I get them conflated all the same. But it's the Victoria Cougars that took the trophy this year. Victoria. How much snow do you think they've ever seen on the West Coast? Do you think they're lining up every day to play hockey? Do you think that's where they trained? It's a sham, I tell you. It's a sham. But we didn't come here tonight to talk about hockey, as much as I would have liked to. We came to talk about my work. I know some of you... Go Cougars! No, Joshua, between this and the smoking, I really think you need to take a step back and reevaluate what is important in your life. Perhaps we can have a conversation about this some other time. But, no. I've been here working tirelessly on this new invention. I have to be honest, I feel like I'm this close. I'm right there. But something's missing. You do know about my invention, don't you? I would have thought you would have been tired of hearing about it. I know some people complain it's all I talk about these days. It's occupied years of my life. But you know, I'm getting closer. Is it a Zamboni? What on earth is a Zamboni, Miss Jackie? A Zamboni, it sounds like some kind of vegetable or fruit or something. No, it's not a Zamboni that I've been so hard at work on. No, it's my new invention. Sure, there have been some that have been attached to railroad cars and things like that in the past, but this is brand new. This is exciting, and I think it will better the lives of everybody involved. Anyone that has to deal with snow, that is. So maybe we can rule Victoria out. Eh? What'd you say? We have a professor in our midst. Well, Professor, I can see that you're new around town here, and I'll tell you. I've been hard at work on this new machine. The Sicard Snow Remover Snow Blower. I know. It rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Now picture this, if you will. When I'm out there delivering milk after a hard day working on the farm, I have to climb over snowbank after snowbank just to get to your homes. It is infuriating. Now, I'm not the young man that I used to be. It does sound fancy, Mr. Knucklehead. That's an interesting name there. Do you play hockey, sir? We'll get back to that. You know, I've always wondered how to make it easier, though, my deliveries. Speaking of which, Jackie, I still have one delivery left to make for today. Please, take this. Let me know how it tastes. It's from some of our new Canadian cows. They're brand new. Are you just about done with that drink there yet? You know, we have to take it in moderation. But we're not like those poor fools right next to us in Ontario. They're still practicing prohibition. Though I've heard you can buy certain wines and beers and things, but most people in Ontario, they know a lot about snow. Now, as much as I give the Ottawa Senators a hard time, now, perhaps you remember a few years ago when they were on their way to Montreal to play against the Canadiens. They got stuck in a snowstorm. They got snowbound. That's ridiculous. No person should ever get snowbound again. Do you want to know my idea with this invention? Do you want to know what's inspired me? How it works? I know it's treading an old thread with some of you, and I've talked at length about it before, but would you like to know? Jackie? Don't you be talking about how long it's been since you got the milk, alright? The point is, the milk is in your hands now. You can enjoy it at will. And it's delicious. I can vouch for that myself. You love snow. Well, I love snow too, as does any good Canadian. But sometimes there's just too much. Enough is enough sometimes. Huh? You want to talk about how the snow needs to go, Mr. Knucklehead? It's not what I would expect a hockey player to say, but I agree. So here's my idea. Perhaps you've seen on farms these thresher machines that harvest grain. Well, my idea is very similar to this. I was actually inspired when I saw my neighbor using one on his field. So, this is what I'm thinking. It's easier if I showcase it to you. something like this. You see this guy here, this jar? Well, it's a cylinder, of course. Now, picture this attached to the front end of a truck. Inside the empty cylinder there, you have multiple rotary fans. Now, what I'm talking about is big pieces of metal that rotate in a circle. As the truck drives through the snow along the street, it picks up the snow, grinds it with the fan, sends it back, turns it into a fine powder, and then shoots it out of one of two chutes. Now, ideally, what I would like is to have one main chute that could maybe fire the snow, 90 feet or something. We want it out there. It's a difficult thing to really be pragmatic about, but I'm thinking that what we should do is have the snow be launched into a nearby truck. That way, the truck can then just drive the snow away. Sounds easy, right? But it's a difficult thing to finance. Oh, welcome, Mr. Curtis there. Please, come in, take a seat. Can I get you a drink? Jackie, what are you saying? Isn't that a snow plow, not a snow blower? Miss Jackie, in my humble opinion, you gotta do both at the same time in order to achieve your goals. You don't like my idea for a name? The Sicard Snow Remover Snow Blower? I think it hits all the boxes right there. Oh, you're quite full, Mr. Curtis. Oh, well, that is good to know. That is good to know. Yes, well done, Mr. Lind. Can I get anybody a refill at all, or are you still doing well? Good. Very good. Now, I know that some of you think that this invention will never take off. I've had those feelings myself. But I have to put them in the back of my mind every day. Because if I don't, then what am I good for? Just falling on my face there. How can you invest in my idea? And Mr. Professor, my idea sounds promising. That's very kind of you. To tell you the truth, I'm still thinking about who I should market it to. What do you think, friend? Do you think I should sell first to cities or to private businesses? Well, to tell you the truth, there's pros and cons for both. I'm not quite sure what I would do. Now, of course, Professor, if you were looking on buying, I could definitely set you up with one. Huh? A lower fee than normal, of course, but what are you saying there? It should be, oh no, the Sicard snowblower. You know, it almost sounds like my name, but I think you made a spelling mistake there. What else do we have? Cities. Cities. You think the density of the population need it more? I would go city first. Oh, but here I'm getting mixed reports. Sell to the farmers. That's very interesting. You know, I'm torn on this issue myself. You just take a look around the borough of Montreal I live in, and you see how industrialization has happened so quickly. Seems to me more and more people these days have automobiles and are working in factories. They've opened new cheese factories and things like that around town. Seems that the agricultural way of business is maybe going to the sidelines. Now, I would like to be wrong about that, of course, but I know some of my fellow farmers have had issue in the past with exhausted soil. They can't buy fertilizer, you see. Trolley companies. Now, that is a very interesting idea. What are you saying there, Mr. Curtis? I see. You're saying that the people in the cities should be brave enough and have the manpower to clear it themselves. Now, this is very interesting. I've always believed strongly that a man has to go out and work for a living. My father father did it for many years on the dairy farm. I'm very proud to be doing that for him as well now. Perhaps my invention will take off one day. Perhaps I won't have to deliver milk anymore, but if that's the case, I think I'll miss it. It's so nice seeing all of your smiling faces every morning when I deliver it to you. Now what's that? Farmers need automation. You know, this is true. I've been thinking about this a lot these days. As the world around us begins to automate and get more industrial, we need to rise to that challenge. I'm sure it will make some of the work easier. Perhaps it will. Maybe we need new inventions, just like this, to get us going. You would miss my milk deliveries, Mr. Lind. That's awfully kind of you to say. I can tell you, even if the Sicard snowblower, snowplow, whatever you want to call it, the remover of snow by Arthur Sicard, if that takes off, Mr. Lind, I promise you that your milk will still be delivered. It was my father's promise. That's my promise too. So what I'm hearing is, you think we should maybe sell to both cities and private businesses. I think that's a good idea. Where will I make my machines? This is a good question, Joshua. You see, the idea of the machine, as I think I aptly explained with the jar as a cylinder there, is fairly easy to manufacture. I'm still working out the kinks, of course, but we'll need to partner with an automobile industry, attach it to the front of the truck, and if I can get it to shoot about 90 feet, then we'll need another truck there as well. So you can understand that it's an expensive enterprise to invest in. But I've seen some great enthusiasm from you, and this makes me incredibly happy. You know, I know I shouldn't get back out there and work again, but you've inspired me, friends. Thank you. It's people like you that I rely on. I know I might drive you nuts sometimes when I come into meetings like this and discuss the snowblower. But I promise you, I'll remember your help and the support that you've given me. It's uncertain times like these, with the world changing all around us, that we need people to support one another. I've always looked forward to our friendship, and I'll continue to. That drink's on me. And the next one, too. I've got to get back out and get back to work. You're good to me, friends. You always have been. I hope you take care. Maybe I'll see you down at the pub. Have a good night.